Spring, Summer, Fall, Winter, and Spring, directed by ki-duk. The cycle of life, the cycle of our choices. Life is a never-ending loop from which there is no way out. Taking place in a monastery floating on a distant lake surrounded by mountains and forests. The film revolves around the life of a Buddhist monk. The moments of his life are divided through seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter, and again spring. The title symbolizes the impermanence of life, and where each of the seasons represents the Buddhist concept, the Four Noble Truths. Spring, being repeated, foreshadows repetition or eternal pattern. No one in the film has a personal name, indicating that the story can apply to anybody and is about the never-ending cycle of life. In spring, we see him as an innocent child, unaware of what is right and wrong and moral and sin. When everything is thriving and blooming, he performs a terrible act by inflicting pain and suffering on another living being for his own amusement. The child was introduced to pain when his mentor subjected him to the same agony. He discovers that no matter what he does in life, he will carry the stones of his sins in his heart for the rest of his life. In summer, the child has now grown into a young man. A girl comes into his life. He began to crave like a thirst for water after a long summer day. He lives by the principles that himself, his mentor, and his culture have established for him. He then craves momentary pleasures, lets lust and temptation takes over his mind, and gives in to sexual pleasures. No matter how much wisdom his own life and his mentor have imparted to him, he decided to leave it all behind. As the trees wither, he came back home falling apart. In fall, he became the victim of his own selfishness. Everything in his life has failed him, the same way he failed his mentor in beliefs. Filled with anger, he tries to kill himself. But his mentor knows that there is no peace after death if there is no reparation for his sins. So instead, he made him carve the floor to release his anger and then paint it with a cat's tail, which signifies expulsion of evil energy. Then, winter. Years gone by, he has fully atoned his past. He pays respect to his former mentor and to God. He pets the snake, which signifies triumph over his wretched past. He is reborn and placed God highest in his heart. He is now dedicated to only doing good, just like his mentor. A shot for full redemption came in spring, and a child was brought to him. He cares for the child the same way his former mentor did to him. The cycle of life begins again. Now, he is the mentor. Like the classical tradition, we are engrossed with the characters, their journey, their difficulties, and we are being brought closer to experience what they feel. We are contemplating and slowly moving along with the film without being distracted by the filming techniques and creative manipulations. Minimal makeup for the actors and their plain costume designs are connected to Buddhists living a simple life. The sense of isolation heightens with the use of long shots and bird's eye view. The natural colors, the ambient music, and closed framing did not necessarily manipulate the film, but it complements its serenity and purity. The visual and audio imagery creates a relaxing and meditative sense of natural life. The setting takes a life on its own, becoming a character bigger than any human or animal who lives in it. The style of distant shots of mundane activities shows how the characters interact with their surroundings, while also emphasizing raw visual aesthetics and tranquility. And when dialogues are used, it is for precisely capturing the nature of mankind. Ki-duk pictures nature as a eulogy of existence, and in the film, it teaches us that we are all living beings and shows us the simplicity and beauty of existence. It's a meditation in the form of cinema, and it is one of the most cathartic experiences I've ever had. Again, this is spring, summer, fall, winter, and spring.